Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of my Beginner's Guide to Orlando. Today we're going to talk all things Walt Disney World. We are going to just concentrate on the 4 theme parks and the water parks and some extras to go along with that. If you do want me to go through the hotels and the Disney dining plan, however, comment below because there is such a lot to get through to today. So we'll start off with the Magic Kingdom, so let's go. So let's start off with the Magic Kingdom. This is probably their flagship park through the 4 theme parks that they've got, mainly because this is where it's the best part for all the little ones as well. So we periodically check the Disney app throughout the year, and this is the one park that seems to have constant high volume of queues times throughout the year. Mainly because there's only 2 rides I think in the park that have height restrictions, so it's good for all ages. But let's start off getting to the Magic Kingdom. So when you get there, excuse me, I have got a cold by the way, so I might be clearing my throat throughout this. You get to the car park, and it's the biggest car park out the lot, and then you take a tram from the car park to the TTC, or the Transportation and Ticket Centre. You get off there, and then you've got 2 modes of transport to choose from. The quickest one is the monorail, and again that is usually the busiest because of how quick it takes you to get there. And then the other option is the ferry boat. Still gets quite busy and takes a little bit longer to get over there, but you go along the lake or the lagoon to get to the actual Magic Kingdom itself. And the scenery is breathtaking at time, depending on how clear the weather is. Our personal favourite is go over on the ferry boat, come back on the monorail. So when you do get to Magic Kingdom itself, this is the highlight. You walk in and you get onto Main Street, and it's kind of like offset. So when you walk through the gates, you go around the courtyard sort of thing, and then you come into Main Street, USA, and then you've got the castle in front of you. However many times you've been, it's always breathtaking when you see that view, and that's why you get like a funnel of people trying to get pictures as soon as they get in there. So my tip would be avoid the picture straight away, come back later in the day because it'll be clearer, and there's always photo opportunities with the Disney photo people as well that are lined up the street. So Magic Kingdom itself has 6 lands. You've got Main Street USA, which is the first land that you come into. Not any rides as such there. You've got a couple of character meets, and they do have character meets in the little courtyard at the front, but it's mainly the information centre and a lot of shops along that stretch. And they have now built in at the front, in front of the castle, they have some viewing like grassed areas where you can book fast passes to watch the fireworks. If you turn left, if you come into Main Street, you go to Adventureland. Adventureland is where you've got your Aladdin magic carpets and the Jungle Cruise, and again some restaurants and stuff around there. That follows round into Frontierland, where you've got your Splash Mountain and your big Thunder Mountain Railroad. That then blends into Liberty Square with your a few character meets in there. You can get the paddle boat from that bit as well. I'm not sure, it was closed last time, and I'm not sure if it's being reopened, but it did have Tom Sawyer's Island there as well, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. You've got the Hall of Presidents, which is now open again, and Haunted Mansion. So that then blends into Fantasyland, where you have Tangled, some restaurants, and then you've got like a row of rides with a small world on the left next to quite a big restaurant, and on the right you've got Peter Pan, then you've got Philhar Magic, and then you've got the carousel in the middle with a sword in the stone, where you can take photo ops, but they do little stage shows there as well. That's also at the back of the castle, so you can cut through there to get back onto Main Street, or you can follow it round to the Little Mermaid, the new ride, and Be Our Guest, and also Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and I think you got Winnie the Pooh ride around there as well. But you keep following it round, you come to the circus, which is got the Goofy Barnstormer ride for the kids, and a splash pad, and I think Dumbo's been moved there as well now. And it's just like the carnival from Dumbo. They've got all that set up, and there's like water things there, so it is worth taking the costumes for the kids if they're not getting wet. That's quite fun there. So you keep following it round. It then goes into Tomorrowland, which is the final land, where you've got your Space Mountain, Buzz Lightyear, the Astro Orbiters, Stitch meet and greet, the go-karts, and the People Mover, and soon to be Tron ride, which will be at the back of Space Mountain, and the go-karts, which is good. So if you want a good view of the park from there, you can get on the People Mover, and that goes round, and it goes through Space Mountain as well, which is pretty good. That then blends back into Main Street. You turn left and you go back out. That's a quick overlook of the park itself. While we're talking about this, there will be a map somewhere around here that I'll put up so you can have a look of the layout. But we went from left round to right. For some reason we always go that way, but you can go straight through the castle into Fantasyland if you want, or right into Tomorrowland, wherever you choose. Another good way of getting around the park, if you just want to chill out, I think there's 3 to 4 stops. The first stop is at Main Street. You can get the Walt Disney World Railroad. It used to be part of the rope drop, but rope drop is actually in the park now, in front of the castle. They used to have a little show just outside the entrance where the train pulled up and all the characters would be on it doing this little dance. They don't do that anymore. It's in front of the castle instead. But you can get on the train there. It takes you to Frontierland. I'm not sure if it stops at Fantasyland, I'm not sure where it goes. It definitely stops at Tomorrowland and then back at the main entrance. But it's a railroad that goes around the whole of the park. You can get off at different stops, or you can just chill out and have a ride round to get a good view and see some things that you wouldn't normally see or be able to see if you didn't go on the train, which is pretty good. So one thing that we found from last year is there's a game you can play called Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. It's like a role-playing game, a bit like your trading cards. You get a host of different characters, and they've got like different facts on there, and you get a map. So you go around, you follow the map you go around the park, you follow the map, you show one of the spells or something that you want to cast, and then it gives you a little story on a video screen, and then a clue to where your next spot is, where you need to go. We only did one because the park was so busy, but we'll carry on playing that when we go back. I do believe there's lots of different cards you can get. I think you can get a pack a day. I'm not really sure how that works. But there's a lady or a gentleman that stands outside the store, I suppose it is, and you can swap your cards. So if you've got 2 or 3 packs, you've got duplications, you can just swap out whatever you want. And I think you can do as many as you want. We did. So we swapped about 6 or 7 of them to get the different cards, and they're good just for collectors if you didn't want to play the game. So if you want to find this place, it's in when you walk through the gate, it's in Town Square, next to the information hall. It's called the fire station. It's on the end of the row. You can get in there. So you just go in and say I want to play the game. They register you for that, and you can register. So if you've got your family, you can register all of you under there, and you get a pack of cards each. And it's all connected through your Magic Band as well. So the other thing about the parade, obviously you know there's parades in all the parks. You get your main ones in Magic Kingdom. I think there's 3 parades, different types of parades, but they change obviously year on year. Main Street is the main stretch where everyone seems to gather, and it goes all the way around the castle. You do have to get there quite early, maybe half an hour to 45 minutes to get a decent spot. It doesn't mean anything though, because people will just push in front of you wherever you're standing. So be prepared to have that, stand your ground, because we were standing there before with a pushchair and people still stood in front of it. They don't care. So get prepared for that. We usually stand outside the ice cream shop because we like to get an ice cream, stand there and watch the parade. It comes straight down Main Street, which is pretty good. One final thing then we'll talk about for Magic Kingdom is the fireworks. Obviously the fireworks are at the end of the night, so be prepared. Once they finish, you're going to get a big flux of people coming out. A top tip for that, which I'll give you in a minute. It's all around the castle, so everyone will congregate around there, but you can get fast passes now for these viewing areas. I think there's 4 in total. We didn't get that because obviously you're using up a fast pass, but you can do that if you don't want to hassle with the crowds or get a better viewing area. So you can use fast pass for that. And there's like a little grassy area where you can just sit down or stand, which is fine. But they're all different. Wherever you stand by the castle, it's always a good view. I mean, the fireworks from the sky, and there's projection onto the castle as well, which is pretty good. So top tip when you're coming out, everyone will bolt down Main Street. As soon as you get onto Main Street itself, all the shops are connected. So going either way, either shop, cut through the shops. It's less crowded. You can walk straight to the end, and then you're out at the end, which is a top tip. So that's Magic Kingdom. Okay, so Epcot, the hidden gem of the Disney parks. A lot of people that we speak to kind of disregard it, or it's the park to miss out on. But there's so much to offer with Epcot, and you can't really do all in one day because there is so much to do there. It is only split into 2 distinctive areas. You've got Future World and then the World Showcase. So at the front of the park is where all your rides are, and all your like your shops and your information bits are at the front. And at the back of the park, around the round of it, is called World Showcase, which has got 11 international pavilions for around the world. So the first area is Future World. It's all arranged around Spaceship Earth, which is the big ball in the middle. Other rides around there, you've got Test Track and Mission Space. Then in one of the pavilions, you've got Soaring and the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which is like a 3D sort of adventure. And also you've got Mouse Gear, which is one of the biggest stores, like a big Disney store on that property as well. So following from there, you walk around to World Showcase, which has got your 11 international pavilions, which obviously you've got food for each country. There's a couple of rides. Mexico got like a boat ride if you go into the like Chichen Itza kind of building, and then you've got the Frozen ride, which is new there as well now, and all the others seem to have like a show there to instead of a ride. Lots of shopping and lots of food. One of the good things about that is that depending on the season, they have games for the kids. So you go around and you look for little characters around the park, and you get a stamp, and then you get a medal at the end, or a pin badge sort of thing. Talking about that, the annual festivals, you've got the International Flower and Garden Festival, which runs this year from February through to May. They do change each year, so don't take this as gospel. And as of last year, Food and Wine is the longest Food and Wine they've ever run, and it ran from mid-August to the end of November. Again, that is subject to change, so but that's what it was in 2017. One of our favourite things about Epcot, which is why it takes so long to get round, halfway round, when you get to Paris, you can cut off, and you can get a ferry to the boardwalk. We did that first time in 2015, and it was great. Boardwalk is one of the Disney resorts. It's just like a pier sort of thing. It's got a lot of shops and an ice cream place, and there's a sports bar at the end as well. It's just nice to go over there and chill out, get away from the crowds and have an ice cream outside. And they are very good, these ice creams. So after that you can get the ferry back. If you do that though, you have to go through security each time, so be prepared to do bag checks and stuff each time you come in and out. And that's Epcot.